Zev, thanks so much for joining us once again from your home in Mali Adumim. We are still sheltering in place, but you still have some incredible archaeological finds at the city of David to tell us about. And what we're talking about today dates back to the first temple period. Tell us what you have.
A number of years ago, archaeologists discover an ancient toilet. And it's one of the only toilets, an ancient toilet that's been found in the country, one of the very few. It's one of the oldest toilets in the world. It goes back some 2,500 years to the period of the very end of First Temple period Jerusalem, to the rule of King Zedekiah, the last king of the Davidic dynasty. Now, okay, you could say the story ends there. It's a toilet. You can make all sorts of toilet jokes and great. But, however, Jerusalem is different. The city of David is different. When you find an ancient toilet in the city of David, it's not just a toilet. Now, archaeologists and scientists, they're funny people. And so some scientists a number of years ago said, we're curious. What was the diet of the last people to use this toilet? Now, this toilet, as you can see, it was on the slopes just beneath where it is believed to be the location of King David's palace. So it's clear that this was an important area, the royal Capitol Hill of Jerusalem 2,500 years ago.
Yeah, that was a golden toilet, I'm sure, Zev.
Right. You know, so someone's eating with a silver spoon, and then they had the toilet. Now, we have an ancient teaching in our faith that who is rich? One who has a toilet next to his table. Now, you might say, really? Like, what does that have to do with anything? Why is it a big deal? Today, we take for granted that I imagine everyone who is watching this, and certainly watching it on TV or online, we all have internet, which means we have computers and TVs and indoor plumbing. But throughout much of the ancient world, that was a luxury. Many people, when they had to do their thing, went out into the field somewhere and did their thing. If you actually had your own toilet, that meant you were somebody. And it's clear that this toilet belonged to a somebody. Now, the scientists, they dig up the earth beneath the toilet. They scoop into the opening there. And they come back and say, whoever were the last people to use this toilet, they were suffering from tapeworm. They were eating raw meat and weeds. And the question is, why would somebody eat raw meat and weeds? Right?
Especially royalty.
Seriously, right? So if you look at the very beginning of 2 Kings chapter 25, the first 3 verses of the chapter, it talks about the Babylonian siege on Jerusalem. And it literally talks about the devastating impact that the siege is having on the people of Jerusalem. They are starving to death. And so you could imagine, why is someone eating raw meat? There's no more wood to make fire. But you're starving to death, and so you'll eat whatever you can. And so they just ate raw animals.
Yeah, the forces of King Nebuchadnezzar, Zev, closing in. Right. A brutal siege, the Bible tells us. Terrible what they did in Jerusalem.
Yeah, and so an 18-month siege, and by the end of it, people are eating raw meat to the extent that people even had animals left to eat, and eating whatever's growing in the ground, grass, weeds, whatever. And so this toilet is a testament to the biblical description of the Babylonian siege on Jerusalem, that in Jerusalem, in the city of David, the place where Jerusalem began, the historic site of biblical Jerusalem, even a toilet affirms the truth of the Bible, not simply as a matter of faith, but as a matter of fact.
Zev, incredible, my friend. And when you combine the truth of the Bible with irrefutable archaeological and scientific evidence, I believe you have an unbeatable combination.
And especially now in Corona, it just tells us, reminds us even more the importance of personal hygiene, right? You don't want to get those bacteria and tapeworms. We didn't want it 2,500 years ago. We don't want the bacteria today. So everyone should just eat right and have proper hygiene and get through all this stuff.
That's right. And hey, the real moral of the story, I guess you would say, is guess what? The Babylonians destroyed the first temple. They burned Jerusalem. It was a horrible period, but the Jewish people are still here. They're still standing, and the state of Israel is back, never to be uprooted again.
That's right.
That's right. Zev Ornstein, thank you so much, my friend. We look forward to seeing you at the city of David in person, hopefully very soon. Maybe I'll even use the toilet. Who knows?
God willing.
God bless, my friend. Take care, Zeb. Thank you.